What's it like for a 50-year-old rural Chinese woman to visit her daughter in the city? Hi everyone, I'm Shyla. Today I'm going into the city to see my daughter's new apartment, and I woke up just as the sun came up. Look, this is the small vegetable plot right outside my yard. The sky is so clear today. I came over early to pick some fresh green beans. The eggplants I picked a few days ago are in the fridge, still fresh. I'm packing those up too. Before I leave home, I plan to make two of her favorite childhood homemade dishes to bring along with me. The first one is a classic traditional snack from northern rural China, and it's called sesame sticks. Today, I'm recreating that old familiar taste. The ingredients are all basic household staples, and it's not complicated to make. Back then, our family didn't have much money, and there weren't many fancy snacks around. This sesame stick treat was the sweet bite she'd look forward to every time I made it. This dough is made from flour, eggs, sugar, and cooking oil. Knead it smooth and set aside to rest. Once the dough has rested, I roll it out on the pastry mat with a rolling pin into a large round sheet of even thickness. It can't be too thick or too thin. Too thick and it tastes spready, too thin and it will break apart when frying. First, I cut the big sheet into wide long strips, then slice them into small sticks about the width of a finger. I prepare a bowl of plain water, dip each dough, stick lightly, then roll it in white sesame seeds until every side is fully covered. These sesame seeds were harvested from my own yard last year, washed and sun-dried for storage. They have such a natural, nutty aroma. I pour a good amount of cooking oil into the pan, let it heat up slowly, then place the sesame sticks in one by one to fry over low heat. I keep the heat medium-low the whole time and stir them gently and constantly. Once they turn an even light golden color, I take them out to drain off the excess oil. Once they cool down, the crust is so crispy it crumbles at a touch. Inside, there's a soft hint of egg and sugar, and the sesame flavor gets richer the more you chew. Now she's built a life and family in the city. She rarely gets to eat homemade food from home anymore. Now I'm starting to make the second dish, meat flour rolls. Take this rested dough, roll it out into one big thin sheet. Look, this is pork filling I seasoned in advance. Spread all the seasoned pork filling evenly, so every layer has meat inside. Sprinkle some green onions on top. It'll smell amazing after steaming. Roll it up tightly from the edge into a thick, long strip. Tight rolling makes neat layers. Cut into equal, small pieces. Press the center hard with a chopstick. The two sides spread out naturally, forming beautiful flower roll shapes. Arrange all of them in the steamer tray. Leave space between each one. They'll expand while steaming. Put them in with cold water. Once the water boils, set a timer for 20 minutes to steam. While waiting for them to finish, I rode my electric scooter to the village supermarket to pick out small gifts for my grandson and granddaughter. One whole shelf is full of children's toys. There are countless styles, separate ones for little girls and boys. I have two little grandkids. My grandson is 3 years old, and my granddaughter is 7. They have totally different tastes. First, I spotted this pink bunny pet trolley. It's so cute, with matching small tableware and a bunny doll. My granddaughter will absolutely love this. I'll get it for her. Then I picked a transforming robot set. All 7-year-old boys love these transformable mecha toys, perfect for my grandson. I paid for both toys together. Total cost 60 Chinese yuan, around 8.3 US dollars. As soon as I lift the lid, strong meat fragrance fills the room. Layers of dough wrap the marinated pork filling, soft and tasty at a glance. Everything's all packed and ready. The bag has toys for the kids. The 2 boxes are homemade sesame sticks and meat rolls, plus homegrown vegetables and peaches. Everything is packed. I grab my bags and walk to the village bus stop to head to the city. Stay home and behave. Don't be naughty. I'm so lucky today. I ran into a beautifully decorated wedding car as soon as I stepped out, getting some good wedding fortune. I'm waiting for the bus on the roadside with all my bags full of anticipation. It's about 50 kilometers from my village to my daughter's home in the city, and I have to switch buses halfway to get there. I'm on the rural bus now. Outside the window stretch endless cornfields, country roads, and wind turbines, all the familiar scenery of my hometown. I got off the first bus and waited at the stop to transfer.
镇门口金土地市场是凡老百姓。乘车，车开了。
Looking at the rows of tall city buildings far away, my heart is filled with excitement. I'll get off the bus soon, and my daughter will pick me up at the stop. I called my daughter after getting off the bus, and before long, she came to pick me up on her small electric tricycle. My granddaughter came along too, eating a popsicle. Such a sweet little girl. I'm used to the low, spacious yards in the village, so seeing rows of tightly packed high-rises all at once feels a little uncomfortable. We've finally arrived at my daughter's home. Let's walk inside and take a look. The huge floor-to-ceiling windows offer a wide view, totally different from the yard back home. As soon as I walked in, I took out the gifts and snacks I brought for my daughter and granddaughter. It's a pity my grandson is at kindergarten at noon, so I can't see him right away. I love this full-length floor-to-ceiling balcony so much. The apartment is on the 24th floor, with an amazing view. Standing here, I can see the whole river, green parks, and rows of tall buildings far away. The scenery is really soothing. My little granddaughter stays beside me. The quiet and cozy space washes away all the tiredness from the long trip. Now, I'd like to tell you all about this apartment. It's on the 24th floor. The number 24 sounds unlucky in Chinese, so it costs less than apartments on other floors when they bought it. I wonder if people where you live also care about unlucky floor numbers. The total price of the house is 950,000 RMB, around 130,700 US dollars. They put 250,000 RMB down, around 34,400 US dollars, and took out a 700,000 RMB bank loan, around 96,300 US dollars for the rest. The house is 135 square meters, with 4 rooms, spacious enough for the whole family. My daughter stays home full-time to take care of the 2 kids and doesn't work outside. Funny enough, my son-in-law is also a long-distance truck driver, traveling all year to earn a living. He drove trucks diligently for many years, saved money by cutting every unnecessary expense, and finally bought this flat to settle down in the city. They pay over 3,000 RMB, around 413 US dollars a month for the mortgage, so life isn't exactly easy. The couple lives frugally and plans every expense carefully, only hoping to give their kids a stable and warm home. In a way, this is a very typical, ordinary, married family in modern China. The city they live in is a fourth-tier city in China. The local average monthly salary is only about 3,000 RMB, around 413 US dollars, which is not a high income level. There are no extraordinary stories here, only the daily hardworking life of millions of ordinary Chinese families. Seeing the young couple put down roots in the city with their own hands and have a bright home, I'm truly happy for my daughter, from the bottom of my heart. Sitting on the sofa chatting and snacking with my daughter and granddaughter, I feel very relaxed. After tidying up the rooms, we're going downstairs for a meal. This enclosed electric tricycle can be seen everywhere in small Chinese cities. It has a battery range of about 60 kilometers, which is totally enough for daily trips. The whole vehicle costs roughly 7,000 to 8,000 RMB, around 960 to 1,070 US dollars, affordable for regular people. It keeps out wind and rain, perfect for picking up kids or running errands to buy groceries. It's easy to drive, so elderly folks and young mothers all love it. This is my first time visiting such a large mall, and it looks really grand. My daughter knows I love noodles, so she brought me to a noodle restaurant inside the mall. Nowadays, most restaurants in China let customers scan QR codes to order food with their phones. There's no paper menu and no need to call waiters. You can pick dishes and pay right after scanning the code. This regular bowl of noodles costs 35 RMB, around 48 US dollars, which I think is way too expensive. If I buy groceries and cook at home with this money, it can feed me for several meals. The cost of eating out is really much higher than daily living expenses back in the countryside. After finishing our noodles, we're going to take a stroll around the mall. My daughter patiently showed me all kinds of fruits and fresh groceries. Looking at the price tags on the shelves for fruits, vegetables, eggs, and dairy, I quietly did the math in my head. The same goods cost far more here in the city supermarket than back in my rural hometown. The gap in daily expenses is really big. Having lived in the countryside all my life, I'm used to growing vegetables in my own yard and buying cheap produce at local village markets, so I can't quite get used to city prices. Deep down, I still prefer my simple, low-cost rural life at home. It's peaceful and down-to-earth, without having to watch every penny I spend. Even though cities have everything and look fancy, nearly everything costs money here, lacking the relaxed freedom of the countryside. After wandering the supermarket, we came to the kindergarten together to pick up my grandson. As I stood at the gate waiting for the kids to come out, so many old memories suddenly came flooding back. More than 20 years ago, I stood at the school gate just like this every day, waiting for my daughter to finish school. Time flies so fast. In the blink of an eye, she's become a mother herself, and I'm a grandma now. One generation follows the next. Life moves forward quietly and steadily. This is the truest kind of happiness. Time spent with family is always the most comforting. My countryside holds my daily life, and the city holds my loved ones. Do you prefer the quiet life in the countryside or the convenient and lively life in the city? Feel free to share in the comments. My daughter wanted me to stay overnight, but I have work to do at home, and my dog Lucky waiting for me, so I have to wave goodbye and head back to the countryside.